Good afternoon, dear children.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I have given a homework.
Yes.
Have you completed that?
Yes.
Anyone? Can you tell me your findings about the farm in India and farm in the USA? Yes. Who is going to read? Farm in India and farm in the West. Read. Who is reading? Read. Have you done your homework? Have you done your homework?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Then read. Otherwise, I'll call a student. I will call one child to read out the points, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Then who is going to read us? Your findings. Differences between the farm in India and farm in the USA. Very simple. Then who?
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, in USA, the size of farm is very large.
Size of farm, size of land is very
It's very large. Large.
Means large areas they use for agriculture, right? Yes. What about India?
But in India, it is very small. Land is very small compared
Compared
to
with the US, land
land is
use is
small.
India farmers use small area of land for cultivation. Very good. First point, area of land is very large in the US. Right. Very good. Second point.
The owners of this farm, their house is in the farm itself.
Yeah. Owners. They live in the farm itself, right? Farmhouse. What about the Indian farmers?
Indian farmers live in a village and they will travel to farm.
Wait, Abhiram, what are you doing there? Next, I'll come to you, Abhiram. Be ready with answer. Continue.
But in India, the farmers live in village and they will travel to farm.
Yes. In India, farmers live in village. That means very far from their land. Right?
And they will travel to farm.
Yeah, they have to travel to the farm. Yes. Then.
In USA, farmers make sure that soil and water resources meet the need of the crop. But in India, there is a problem. I mean, the water is not that much there, so they will ask the help of.
In the US, before farming, before starting the agriculture work, they make sure that the availability of water and soil fertility, right? But in India, farmers are doing like this? No.
No.
Then?
In USA, farmers take the help of technology.
Yes.
They will take the sample of soil and
the laboratory,
go
right?
to the laboratory.
Take the fertility of soil. Right? After that, they start farming in a particular place. Okay. They use more technology. They depend on technology, right? Okay, very good. Then.
But in India, farmers don't depend on technology. They will ask the help of friends or their farmers, friends and all.
Yes, yes. Then.
Then
what about seed, machines and all?
Ma'am, USA, they will take healthy, good seeds.
Yeah, they use high-yielding variety seeds, right?
Yes.
Then.
But in India, they won't check that it will be not high normal seeds, that they are poor. Some farmers are poor.
Yes. Then, what about machines?
USA, they use machines.
More
machines
are done by machines, right?
Yes. But in India,
Traditional, they follow traditional methods
Methods,
for
yes.
plowing or tilling of soil, right? Turning of soil.
Soil.
Right.
Um,
Yes. I hope all of you got the points, right?
Ma'am.
Sridev, can you read your findings? Thank you, Lynette. Very good. Sridev, louder.
The farmers farm,
Louder.
ma'am. The farmers, the
Yes.
farmer in India has 1.5 hectares of land. That means they have low area of land, and farmers in USA have 250 hectares of land,
Large areas of land.
large area of land, and in India they normally grow wheat and rice,
Yeah.
but
In India,
in
farmers grow only wheat and rice, the main crops. What
and
about the US?
in USA they grow corn. Then in India they use bullocks for plowing,
Sorry?
and in US they use bullocks for plowing.
Yes, they follow traditional methods, right?
In USA they use tractors, seed
Yeah,
drills.
they use machines.
machines.
Yes. Then in India, farmers are very poor, and in USA they are like a businessman.
Businessman, right? Here, farmers are poor. They are known as, or they are called farmers, right? But in the US, it's a business. They live like a businessman, right? They are like business people. Farmers mean they are like business people, right? Then,
Then the farmers in India take the take the
yeah,
advice
India
of.
farmers face one problem. They don't have proper storage facilities, right?
Yes, yes,
They cannot store their grains properly. That's why they are forced to sell their grain in markets for low price.
yes,
They are not getting any profit. But
yes,
when we compare with comparatively, the farmers in the US, they are getting or they are having storage facilities, so they can store their grains. They are not compelled to sell.
yes, ma'am.
Yes,
And in USA they are spraying pesticides.
they use,
Pesticides.
yeah,
They use
pesticides means
pesticides.
they use more chemical
Chemicals.
pesticides in the land, or fertilizers, pesticides in the land. Okay. Then,
In
to
In
India,
avoid
India,
pests,
they use
and they use high yielding
they use
seeds.
high yielding variety of seeds, better quality seeds than normal one. Yes, very good. Then,
And,
yes,
ma'am, I
okay.
wrote down it.
Yes, it's enough. Very good, Sridev. Thank you. Then, who will read next? Anashwara Rajesh. Anashwara, unmute your audio and read. Yes.
In India, people, farmers are living near the farm.
Where?
No, no, living near the village, and they travel to the farm.
Yes.
In USA, they live near the farm. Then the farmers have low land. In India, USA, the farmers have large area of land. India, they use traditional tools and they use natural fertilizers.
Most of the works are
Uh,
done by
uh,
laborers, right? Or family members. Then. But in the US, works are done
they
by
use
machines. Okay, machines.
machines.
Then. Okay, next, Fadil.
Yes, ma'am. Most of the Indian farmers are uneducated or received basic education in the village schools.
Yes.
Whereas in the US, the farmers are mostly well educated and keep themselves updated with the latest developments in the agriculture
Yes,
field.
yes, very good, very good.
Indian farming is weather dependent and farmers grow only 2 or 3 crops per year.
Yes.
Whereas in the US, the farmers use scientific techniques like soil testing, etc., and
Yes.
grow multiple crops throughout the year.
Yes, good.
Hmm.
Only 2 points you got?
Yes, ma'am.
Just now you searched all these points?
No, ma'am. No.
That day itself you got. You searched net and found out all the points, right?
No, ma'am. Then yesterday only I remember about that.
Oh, okay, okay. Anyway, you got 2 points. Very good points. And what about Anashwara? When did you collect all the points, Anashwara?
Ma'am, just no.
Just now, from your smile, I understood. That's why I call you. Isha,
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
read.
ma'am, I couldn't attend the class last time.
Isha, don't say excuses like this. It's very simple. Then you listened what Lynette said, then Fadil explained some points, Anashwara explained, then Sridev also explained, right? You listened. Yeah, then what you understood from this?
Ma'am,
What did you get?
in USA, the farmers are much more educated than that of India.
Yes,
So
yes.
they are updated about the
Yes, yes.
new machines and all.
Like that, you can say what do you understand from the explanation. Continue.
Ma'am, in India, the farmers are not that as literate as the farmers of USA.
Yes.
So they mostly follow the traditional methods
Yes.
which were followed by their ancestors.
Yes.
Then in USA, they use great machineries and have lots of area for agriculture. Then in India, they don't have that much area. They are poor. The farmers are mostly poor, and they don't have that much machineries.
Yes.
Then in India, they don't have much storage facilities and all. But in US, it is the storage is they have high storage facilities and all.
Yes.
So in India, they have the seeds get damaged, so they have to sell the seeds for a very low price. They don't get
Yes.
much profit from it.
Yes.
And in America, they sell it for high profit, and they are very rich. They are very like businessmen and all.
Yes. Yes.
Then
Okay, Isa, very good.
thank you.
Lakshmi Nandakumar.
Ma'am, can I say same points? I didn't.
It's okay.
Places in farm in India, places are usually a small village where crops are grown, and farmers are uneducated. Whereas in USA, farmers are well educated and they keep up with the latest technologies and in the farm fields.
Yes.
In India, farmers live in the main village, whereas in USA, farmers reside in the farm itself. In India, they normally harvest wheat and rice. In USA, there's a variety of crops that they grow. In India, farmers use traditional tools and ways. In USA, they use tractors, seed drills, harvesters, threshers, and levelers, and new technologies.
Yes.
In India, farmers has only 1.5 hectares of farmland, whereas in USA they own 300 hectares of 250 hectares of land.
Yes.
Size of farm in USA is much larger than that of India.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Good. I hope all of you understood the differences, comparison between farm in India and farm in the US, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then thus we have completed the fourth lesson, agriculture. I hope this chapter is clear to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then did you get your timetable?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
For social exam, geography, one lesson is there. Who's talking there? Tamanna. Then only one lesson is there from geography, resources. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Resources, it's an easy lesson. The problem is don't be confused with the name of resources and on what base we have the classification. Clear? Natural resources classification, natural resources are classified into 4 on the basis of use, development, stock, origin and all, right? So don't be confused with this point. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then come back to the lesson agriculture. In this lesson, what all points we have discussed under the heading agriculture. First, we learn what is the meaning of agriculture, right? Agriculture means cultivation on soil. Cultivation on the soil is known as agriculture. Then 3 activities involved in agriculture.
Culture. First one is
Primary,
primary,
secondary,
secondary, tertiary.
and tertiary activity. Okay, then
Primary activity,
Primary is activity include
Production and extraction.
for
okay.
example,
Better I will ask you.
activity.
Okay, give a brief summary of each topic. I'll ask you. Start with Linux. Start.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, agriculture is means cultivation of soil
Cultivation on the soil.
on the soil. There are 3 economic activities. First one is primary, second one is secondary, third one is tertiary. First one, primary. Primary includes production and extraction. For example, growing crops and planting seeds. Next one is secondary. Secondary includes processing, manufacturing of steel, baking of bread, weaving of clothes. Next one is tertiary. Tertiary includes banking, trade, insurance, advertisement, transportation.
Yes.
There is 5% of people are engaged in agriculture. Soil and climate are the 2 major elements.
Yes.
The land on which the crops are grown is called arable land.
Okay, dear. Thank you, Lynette. Very good. Nandana, can you explain the next?
Ma'am, next is farm system.
No. Before that, we learn new word, new terms.
The new terms of
Yes.
agriculture, cultivation on soil,
Yes.
sericulture, rearing of silkworms,
Yes.
pisciculture, breeding of fishes,
Yes.
viticulture, cultivation of grapes, horticulture, growing of vegetables, flowers, and fruits.
Yes. Very good. And what about farm system, Nandana?
Ma'am, farm system, agriculture or farming can be looked at as a system. There are 3 ways: input, operation, and outputs.
Yes. Very good.
The inputs of farming is water, seed, manure, labor, machines, sunlight, and air.
Yes.
The operations are plowing, sowing, adding manure, irrigation, harvesting, storage, and the output is crops.
Yes. Ultimate output of farm system is crop. Very good. Thank you, dear. Nivedya, explain types of farming. How do we have 3 types of farming?
We have 3 types of
Depending
farming.
on what? Classification or types of land, types of farming depend on what?
Geographical conditions,
Yes.
demand of produce,
Yes.
labor, and level of technology.
Yes.
Farming can, depending upon this, farming can be classified into two main parts:
Yes.
subsistence farming and commercial farming.
Yes.
Subsistence farming, it
Then
is the
explain
low.
what is subsistence farming.
It is the low levels of technology and household labor are used to produce on small outputs,
Yes.
and it's mainly within household purposes for.
Subsistence farming mainly, this type of farming is practiced to meet the requirement of farmers' family, right?
This one.
Yes, very good, ma'am. Very good, Nivedya. Pooja, explain subsistence. Next one, intensive subsistence farming.
Yes, ma'am. Intensive farming, they use small plot of land, simple tools, and more labors are required.
Yes.
And more than one crop is grown. Rice is the main crop. Other crops are wheat, maize, pulses, and oilseeds.
Yes.
Then in this type of, this is prevalent in the thickly populated areas of
In
the monsoon
intensive
region.
subsistence farming, what are the main crops?
The main crop is rice.
Yes. Then
And
two
the
other crops.
other crops are wheat, maize, pulses, and oilseeds.
Yes. Very good. Very good, Pooja. Next, Kritik, explain primitive farming. Primitive means old farming. Old. What is then how can we explain primitive farming?
Primitive farming includes shifting cultivation and nomadic herding.
Yes. Then explain what is shifting cultivation.
Shifting cultivation is practiced in thickly forested areas.
Yes.
In parts of Southeast Asia and Northeast Asia.
Yes. What it is? Shifting cultivation means what?
A plot of land is cleared by felling the trees and burning.
Yes. Shifting cultivation start with clearing land, right? Start with clearing land.
Then
Land is cleared by
ashes are
felling
mixed.
trees and burn. Right. Very good. Then.
Ashes are mixed with the soil and
Yes.
crops like maize, potato, and are grown.
Yes. Then what they
Shifting
will do?
cultivation is also known as slash and burn
After
agriculture.
cultivating, what they will do?
The land is abandoned and
Yes.
they move to a new plot.
Yeah, that's why it's called shifting, right? The word is a shifting, move from one place to another, right? They abandon the land or leave the land. Why they abandon the land?
To get more fertility
Why
on
did
the
they
soil.
leave the land? Right, to regain the fertility of the soil. They move to next plot.
Shifting cultivation is now also known as slash and burn agriculture.
Why it is called slash and burn agriculture?
First, they will cut the trees and burn them.
Yes. Then.
Nomadic herding.
Yes.
It is practiced
Yes.
in
Thank you,
same.
Hritik. Thank you. Good. Next, I'll call Henin. What is nomadic herding? Anchana and Amin, turn on your video.
Ma'am?
Amin, turn on your video. Henin, what is
Yes,
nomadic herding? Henin,
Ma'am, I can't hear you properly.
nomadic herding. Henin, can you hear me?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, I can't hear you properly.
Advait, explain nomadic herding. Advait. Unmute your audio. Nomadic herding.
Where some people move from one place to another with their animals.
Yes. In between, yes, continue. You are right. People with their animals move from one place to another during seasonal changes, right? Yes. Good. Next, Vaishnavi. What is commercial farming?
Commercial farming, for that animals are reared and plants are grown for sale in market.
Yes.
The capital is very large, and most of the work is done by machines.
Yes.
It is divided into commercial green farming, mixed farming, and plantations.
Okay, good. Lakshmi CV.
Yes, ma'am.
What is commercial grain farming?
Commercial grain farming means crops like wheat and maize are grown for commercial purpose.
Yes. Then
Mixed farming. The land is used for growing food and fodder crops and rare livestock. Then plantations. Only a single crop like tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana or cotton is grown in large amount of labor and capitality are required.
capital is required. Capital. Well, okay. Can major crops
Rice. It is the staple diet of tropical and
hello. Wait. Can major crops
rice.
only rice is it?
Rice, wheat.
Tell me what is the definition of major crops?
Rice, it is the
The
staple.
introduction.
And it is the staple diet of tropical and subtropical region.
Where is your textbook? Have you seen a heading, major crops, in your textbook?
Yes.
Yes. So what's the first sentence?
1 minute, ma'am. I can.
Find out the answer, I'll come to you later. Abid. Abid.
Yes, ma'am.
Major crops. Abid, where is your textbook? No response. Benedict. Major crops.
The large variety of crops are grown to meet the requirements of the people.
Yes. Wait,
Such as rice.
Abhiram, what are you doing there? Abhiram?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you doing there?
I'm not doing anything.
Okay. Continue, Benedict.
Such as wheat, rice, maize, and millets.
Major crops are classified into 3, right? Benedict?
Yes, ma'am.
No. Major crops, what are they?
Rice, wheat, and millets.
Major crops are classified into 3. What are they? Rice, wheat, millet, maize and all come under which?
Crops. Ma'am, beverage
crops.
crops, food crops, beverage crops, and fiber crops.
What is beverage crop?
The crops such as
Meaning.
beverage crops means which we drink, use for drinking.
Drinking crops. Okay. Okay, good. I hope this chapter is clear to you. Right? Okay, I'll send you notes, but major crops you study from the textbook. Major crops. Okay. Then other notes I'll send. This comparison also study from your textbook. Major crops and comparison. You can study from your textbook. I'll send other notes. Okay. Thank you, dear children. Prepare well for your periodic test.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.